Golem Pink is an indie alternative band from Portland, Oregon. That's where I live. They released their first single on May 5th of 2023 called Killed the Mailman on Bandcamp, and I found it. I was like, whoa, this is good. So I went to their Spotify to see what else they had, and it was nothing for like a year and a half, other than Patriotic Song for You, which was good. And then they went on their socials and were like, yo, we're releasing an album. And I was like, hey, I've been out of video ideas for 10 years. I should review that album. And here we are. The album's called My Country is a Vampire and I Am Full of Blood. It has 10 songs and a runtime of 40 minutes and 7 seconds. I'm gonna go through all the songs and talk about them and then do a final overall review. Okay, sound good? Okay, yeah, I hope, yay. Fuck Capitalism, etc. is a cool starting track made of 3 different live recordings of the song. It's got chill vibes, and the song name does actually continue into the song, which is cool, but it's sort of just okay. Good album opener, but when I first listened to it, I thought the entire song was the intro, and I was like, damn, this is a long build-up. Then I went to the second track, and I was like, oh, that was the song, okay. It's a good album opener, but on a first listen, when you don't know it's mostly just the album opener, you might leave feeling underwhelmed. I do like the transition into the next track, though. Killed the Mailman is, as mentioned before, the first thing Golem Pink put out, and the song that got me into the band, so going into it, I already liked the song. I was just excited to see what improvements they made for the album release. And honestly, I hate to say it, but the album version is worse than the original. Like the instrumental is fine, it has some improvements over the original, but the lead vocals are just like fucked up when compared to the single.
Send me a letter if you could, but they killed the mailman in my neighborhood. Send me a letter if you could, but they killed the mailman in my neighborhood.
Like, I'm not really sure why, it might just be me, but I just don't like the lead vocals in this version. Other than that though, I like the more industrial sounding drums they did for this version, and the mixing is far better. The synth bass being more of a driving force in the song is especially cool for me. Overall, it's still pretty good, but I'm putting the original on my playlist far before this version. Stay in Front of the Mirror starts out kinda lo-fi folksy, and then it doesn't. It just doesn't. I don't even know how to describe it. The chorus is really weird and off-putting with the harmonies, the melody, and the garish synth, and I assume it's on purpose. I feel like it would be really hard to accidentally make something like the chorus. I really like the verses with the reverse vocals and more chill melody, and the bridge is a nice mix of the chorus and the intro. Overall, not bad, but really weird. There Was a Garden starts out pretty chill with some nice harmonies, and then develops some nice grooviness and good melodies. It has great saxophone too, which this album so far doesn't have that much of, and the synths are great. Sort of feels like the feeling you get when your plane takes off at night, and while you're rising you see all the lights of the city, which all eventually fade out. Or if you're in Oregon, you just fly above the cloud ceiling and they'll disappear at once. The song just has immaculate vibes, it's great, I don't have much more to say about it. This House Burned Down is largely a cool soundscape. You really get a feel for the collage-style song making with this soundscape in particular. When the main song portion of the song starts, it's cool to see the person who mostly does the backing vocals.
I'm singing the Stan Wrong song.
Okay, so the person who actually did the vocals for this song was Helen Spencer Wallace. I thought it was the person who usually does the backing vocals. I was wrong about that. Yeah. I just kind of didn't notice the credit on Spotify. The song just has a really nostalgic feel, and I like the storytelling that's done, mostly just with the sounds of fire cutting through, with sounds of kids playing and birds chirping. It's just really well done. My main criticism of the song is the clipping. It happens really obviously in one part, and again less in another part. I like it, but the clipping is really a blemish on what would otherwise be just a good song. Alright, so this is the halfway point of the album, and up to this point, the songs have mostly ranged from pretty okay to good. Not anymore. Not sure why, but the last 5 songs in the album are just vastly better than the first 5, in my opinion. Okay, no more intermission, back to the songs. How to Boil a Frog starts out with a flute, and then it stops and does some cool harmonies, and then it fucking explodes. The beat drop seriously goes insane on this song, and it just keeps going for like a full minute before it mellows out again. The lyrics are a bit odd though. They rhyme alive with alive in the last verse, and it's not like survive wouldn't have fit in the place. Also, you can't put the frog in the pot if you put a lid on the pot in the last verse. This line ruins the album. 0 out of 10. Fuck this song. Fuck this. Fuck you. Fuck the video. For real though, the song is great. I only even noticed the minor lyrical stuff because I listened to it a bunch. It's good. Patriotic Song for You is another song that they released as a single before the album version released, and like Killed the Mailman, I already liked the song before the album came out. Luckily, not much changed from the single version to the album version other than like mixing and stuff. The song is great. I remember when it came out, I was checking if they had released anything since it had been a bit since I looked at the Spotify, and it was just there. I honestly didn't like it as much at first, but for lack of other released songs, I listened to it more and it just grew on me. I will say though, the saxophone solo kinda got butchered by mixing in the album version. The saxophone itself is kinda just off to the side playing while the samples and whatever play. I mean, it's literally off to the side. They panned it to one side of their headphones and made it quiet. In the single release, it really felt like a saxophone solo and not just like a bridge featuring saxophone. Anyways, the song is good, and it's always been good. Soft Teeth is my second favorite song on this album. It's good. It starts out with the call, and then it actually just stays pretty chill for a bit. It's nice. The chorus is great, though the vocals are a bit overbearing, and the part where the hold line comes back is really good. The song is really good, but I just don't really have all that much to say about it. It's great. Like, there's no more. Bleed Right for the Vampire is pretty good. I like the name, and I think it's a good metaphor, even if it's a little on the nose. The song is really fun to listen to, I just don't really feel like I have too much to say about it. There's a cool saxophone part, but it's all messed up by mixing because it's panned to the side and about half the recorded volume. It's really my one big complaint about this album in general, is the way the saxophone is just sort of off to the side, even in songs that it was previously a major player in, like Patriotic Song for You. I don't really know, the song is fun, but it's just the definition of a B tier for me. Like, it's alright. Exit's the last track on the album, it's a great way to end it, even aside from the name. It's got a sick bass line and some immaculate vibes. I haven't really been talking about the lyrics so far, otherwise I probably would have mentioned the vampire stuff, but the lyrics in the song are just so amazing. They're so resonant, like if you actually listen to the lyrics, you feel them so hard. The part with the chopping up the high note choir singing is amazing too. The song's vocals are just great in general. The instruments are also great, the guitar in particular is amazing on this song. I do have one criticism for this song, and that's the end. The end of the song builds up this harmony that just cuts off at the end of the album, which is good in concept, but for me it just sort of just left me feeling like, oh, okay, I guess that's the end. But also, this album is 40 minutes and 7 seconds, so I feel like if they're just going to cut it off in the middle of the ending, they had a great opportunity to make the album a complete 40 seconds. Aside from that ultimately minor grievance though, the Exit's amazing. It's easily my favorite song on the album, it's great in so many ways. Anyways, yeah, that's the end of the album. Overall, it's good, but the first 5 are far outshined by the last 5, and we gotta free the saxophone, man. I give it 19.5 mailman out of 23 or something, I don't know. I know it was a bit harsh at some points, but it should be said, I like this album, I like all the songs, and I think it's good. I'm not trying to hate on it in any way. I've been a fan of Golem Pink since they had one song. They honestly could have done so much worse, and I still would have liked it. I have a few other notes and thoughts that wouldn't really fit anywhere else, so I'm just going to put them all here. The album was released on October 31st, aka Halloween, which is fun because it also has a vampire theme that I mentioned a single time, and the single time was to mention I didn't bring it up, so basically 0 times. Anyways, the Halloween is cool and the vampire stuff is great. I just didn't want to do too much lyrical analysis on an album where the lyrics aren't publicly available, I don't think at least. Number 2, did I start off numbering the... Oh, I'm numbering them now. What happened to the old saxophone player? They used to have this dude, and then they replaced him with this dude. I have nothing against the new one, but what happened to the old one? They even mentioned this in their X-Ray FM interview, and they didn't say why. Number 3, they haven't posted the album on Bandcamp, at least as of me making this. They even changed their banner and profile picture, but they still only have Killed the Mailman for some reason. Personally, I found them on Bandcamp, so I don't know, it just seems like a worthwhile investment to put the album on there. Plus, I want to buy it, so we've got at least one customer built in. Alright, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and check out My Country is a Vampire and I Am Full of Blood if you haven't listened to it already. Anyways, like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, and listen to my own music. It doesn't sound anything like Golem Pink, but you might still like it. I'm polygonal everything. Okay, no shilling. Bye! Wow, end card, yay. Sorry it took me so long to make a new video. That's because of the album. It took a lot of my time to make that album, and then and then I just didn't have any ideas for a month too. After like a month after they released My Country's a Vampire, Man of Full of Blood, they released a song called We Want. This is an album review, but it technically is also a review of their full discography, so I don't want to leave We Want out. Very quick review in this end card. We Want is just okay. It leans more into hip-hop, which I'm not very into. Features 1 or 2 guest rappers, and the lyrics are fine. I mean, I agree with them, but I don't feel like they're doing very much other than saying the things that I agree with. Like, you know, like they're fine. They're fine. I like, you know, support the meaning and all, but you gotta have. It's not very interesting to just have the meaning. Okay, yeah, that's my review. It's okay. Not really my thing. Yeah, that's it. Again, sorry it took me so long to make new videos. Hopefully, more new videos soon. Okay, bye.